Very few of those customers in that mid-size segment, if you think about kind of like, you know, distributed enterprise, 10, 15 locations, maybe 700 to 2,000 employees. Most of those size of companies have very limited IT resources. They probably let the telco manager go somewhere in the last 2 or 3 years. The IT guy is now trying to run voice and data services, network and IT hub, where they have very, very limited resources. So the cloud model, the hosted model, the managed model makes absolute sense to them. It's not like they're sitting there on this, you know, kind of a bank of resources who they could go and deploy this. The cloud model, the managed model is a very good play for them. So, you know, basically, if you target the right customers, the cloud model makes absolute sense. Targeting the right customer is an art form in itself. You know, if I talk about our average customer acquisition, 10 to 20 locations, 700 to 2,000 employees. That's not the only type of customer we serve. Many of our customers, we start with a basic SIP trunking service, maybe into an existing IP Cisco call manager, or maybe it's into an Avaya keyboards. Maybe we start with TDM trunking into a legacy Mitel system. But the profile of a customer really is very, very varied, and the average is kind of like the average, but it's not indicative of the only opportunities you should be looking at. And the key to me when you're looking at helping a customer make that migration to IP and cloud-based communications is to find the right entry point. The right entry point may be trunking into their call manager. It may be a voice recording solution which is layered across an existing call manager. But the key is to get an entry point, a foot into that customer, and move from there. But really, when you've got an enterprise that is really struggling with technology and IT resources, the cloud-based approach makes perfect sense. So if you look about kind of like how we help a customer make a migration to IP communications, really it's kind of like, you know, I think about it in 3 kind of like fundamental basic steps here. The first and foremost thing that we have to do is help that customer build the right network foundation. They may have already made investments in an MPLS platform. They may have implemented that partially or completely across their enterprise. It may be a service that they're managing themselves, or it may be something that they're taking from a third-party service provider. But most of the times when you walk into that customer and you look at their MPLS infrastructure, it's not ready for voice. The platform itself is not ready for voice, and the way that they think about using that MPLS network in terms of application optimization and application performance is not ready for voice. So I'll spend a little bit more time on that. The second step is also about kind of like get voice right, get the voice services right. Don't think about kind of like presence, don't think about chat, don't think about video, don't think about the things which sit around the voice services until you've got the voice services right. If you think about it, kind of like you think about your ability to confuse a customer and elongate a sales cycle and really make things more complex than they really need to be, it's when you step outside of that core voice services. You know, people talk a lot about video, but video, you know, voice calls outnumber a video call on any customer's network or any infrastructure, you know, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 to 1. Video is a nice thing to get right, but get voice right first. So getting those core services, those voice services right across the enterprise is a key thing. I'll talk a little bit more about how we do that and why there's no one right answer to getting those voice services right. And then the third element we always think about is, okay, once you've got the network foundation and you've got the core voice services, how do you really help that customer optimize productivity and performance of their employees? And normally it starts with some element of customer service. It's something about how they do better at serving their customers. Maybe it's a contact center application. Maybe it's call routing, which is helping inbound voice calls get to the appropriate people in a more efficient way. But it typically has a strong customer service flavor to it. So when people ask us about, you know, well, what's the kind of like the right approach to unifying communications, to cloud-based communications, it typically falls into these three areas. Number one, get the network right. Number two, get voice services right. And then number three, think about all the other things you can do with that IP communications platform and how you can help that customer drive productivity, performance, and customer services.